I think if you're on cocaine, your affair is cocaine. I think that's who you're cheating with. It's not the lady bringing you the coke.
I think you could
it's
do
the
a
coke
little
itself.
of both, it feels like.
No, I
'cause
think
if
it makes your wiener not work.
Oh, is that right?
I mean, that's what they used to say. I don't know why I know that. I watched 60 Minutes with my dad.
Wow.
There was a big...
Say no to drugs, gentlemen.
Say no to drugs. But they don't care because they're doing cocaine. They don't care about their wiener.
I'm so confused.
Jen, it was the 80s. We were too young. We didn't know about all that. But
Well, welcome to the IMOMSOHARD podcast where we talk about 80s cocaine usage.
That we have no
idea about.
No idea about because we were playing with Barbies and...
we weren't born.
We weren't...
That's not true.
That's not true. We're barely
well,
born. I don't
yeah.
remember the era we were born in. Dare I say it? The 70s. Ugh. I remember the 1980.
I think that was a lot of Quaaludes and diet drugs.
The 70s?
Yeah.
And like hallucinogenics, like LSD and like...
Totally harmless stuff.
Totally harmless, where you just felt really good about banging a bunch of people at a music festival, which I feel like I missed out on.
Yeah.
I felt like I should have been part of that era. Now that I'm playing the guitar, you know that I should have been at Woodstock.
Well, it was also very different because all STDs, it was just like penicillin. That was all you needed.
You're like, oh, I'm itchy down there. I'm going to go get a shot.
Yeah, the 80s comes along and
it can kill
everybody's
you.
like, you're playing with fire.
Yeah, you're playing with fire. So, thank you for joining us at the #IMOMSOHARD podcast.
You can listen to us wherever podcasts are listened to.
Please subscribe.
Subscribe and rate, you guys.
And say nice things because we're both feeling a little bit...
under the
I'm having to wear readers
level.
right now,
I know.
which I've said before and I'll say again, I think is a government conspiracy. I didn't need them. I put them on. I could see better. Now I need them all the time. I can no longer see
and
without
my
them.
esthetician said I was fat. So it's just... she did. She did say I had beautiful skin, which I just felt like she had to say that.
I don't think she
after
would just have
dropping
to say that.
Well...
Yeah, I went in. I was having a moment with my Botox lady, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to get my lips done. I'm just going to do it. I don't want to do it. I never wanted to do it. I was just going through something.
but you look at the pictures in there
I know,
and you're like, beautiful.
Everybody's so beautiful, and I was feeling really terrible. And she's like, you can't handle it. And I go, what do you mean? And she goes, the pain, you would die. And I go, God, she knows me so well.
Yeah.
I'm having a real moment with her. She's like, really, like, you have to be able to handle pain. And I don't know how you had children. I go, you know what? I just think I'm more sensitive. And she's like, yeah, but do you have any Valium or Xanax?
No,
and I'm like,
you?
I'm on
How
it right
much?
now.
Yeah.
I'm on it right. I'm literally on it right now. Can you? But is there not? And then she's like, started talking about the needle, and I'm like, no, I'm good with my thin lips. I'm good with them. I'm good with them.
Lesson learned. I'm going to start taking a Valium and a Xanax before I go into my esthetician because
The things she
then
says
it hurts
hurt.
less.
Hurts less.
She didn't say I was fat. She just said she could tell I was gaining weight. And then she's like, how much weight you gain? And I said, like 10 pounds. And there was this pause that I know she was like, crank it up. It's more than that. I can tell.
You know what? Mind your
face
business.
gained 10 pounds.
I know, and my
That's
feelings
where I
get
gain
hurt so
it
bad.
first.
I know, me too. I always gain it like I look like so wide.
Yeah.
I mean, my ass is wide for sure, but my face gets really wide.
I'm like man in
and
the
not
moon
in a
right
hot
now.
model way either.
No.
Not in a like, oh wow,
A
your
Chrissy
face is so
Teigen
square.
way? Yeah.
No, it's like I'm a sandbag. And I'm not trying to be mean about myself. I'm just saying, I know where. Look, I'm not shocked that I've gained weight. I'm fully aware that when you eat fried chicken sandwiches on the road,
That's
more than
gonna
once,
happen.
and if
Yeah.
you eat a bag of peanut M&Ms when you're full before you go to bed,
Yeah.
it's like somebody said, "Hey, can you try to gain weight?" And I was like, "Certainly. Let me show you how."
I just tell you, I threw down the gauntlet with my esthetician. Was basically like, let's see how good you are. Let's see if you can do some work so people don't look at my fat body.
What are you talking about? Yeah, you're like, wrap me in a...
Make my skin so beautiful that it like radiates.
Yeah, lady, you've got one job to do, and that's to make me feel beautiful, and I'm going to give you my credit card.
I will give you a moderate 15 to 17% tip because that's how passive aggressive I am.
I know.
Usually
Instead
it's 20
of a 22%, I'm going to give you 18%.
She'll get it. She'll get it. Yeah.
You know what? God bless them all. God bless them. Honesty comes in all different forms and fashions. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, so you could also buy tickets to our live show. We would love to have you
We
come.
are having so much fun at the live show.
It's great. Lots of dudes there, which is new.
Lots of dudes, and they make it so fun because we do give them a hard time, which is fair. But then we get into the good stuff, which is like hot guys and hanging out, and it's a 2-person stand-up show, just so everybody's comfortable. Whatever the venue has in place for restrictions, that's what we follow.
Yeah.
So if it's a mask
We're not adding any. We're not taking any away. We're not the mayor.
We're not senators yet. Man, but then just everyone will be like, why is there just sample sales all the time?
No way I could assume that sort of public
Do you think I could?
scrutiny. We do have stick around for a mom box, and I think we might have the very best hot. Are we doing that as a hot flash about a dude that was at our show?
Yep. Yes.
Yeah.
God.
Okay.
Yes. Oh my God. I almost feel like I want to feature him.
I know.
Should we just talk about him right now? No, let's. Okay.
We'll get to it. Stick around for it. Yeah.
Stick around. But I'm going to tell you what we're going to talk about, and I don't want this to be like everybody goes, oh God, eye roll, because it's going to go in a direction.
That to me.
It's going to go in a direction you didn't think. I did dry January.
Yeah.
I did 31 days.
Ding, 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 ding.
With no alcohol. And I have thoughts on it because I think they're probably not the thoughts that most people that are sitting around.
Where you have like a spiritual awakening.
Yeah, like I think everyone's like, whoa, I did this thing. And I'm like, I have thoughts. I have thoughts on it.
I did not do it. I fully support it, except for the times that I was out having drinks and you were having lemonade.
Yes.
I didn't support it then.
I was going to say, the idea that you supported it is funny to me because so many times Jen was like, you can have a drink, I won't tell. I won't tell. And I'm like, you're the reason PSAs are made. It's like the after school special, and it's Jen who's cute and fun and sparkly, and she's like, we just won't tell anybody. And I'm like, that seems like a great idea. No, this is what the PSA is.
I am Eddie Haskell, you guys.
Eddie Haskell.
I really am. I like to drum up a little bit of trouble. I supported the idea of you doing it. I love you doing it. It's just when it inconveniences me, I don't like it. I'm just being as honest as I can.
I'm glad that you were honest. And you know what? Honestly, I didn't talk to you about doing it. It was something my husband and I kind of talked about on New Year's Day. And I just thought, well, I'm not going to really tell anybody because I just want to see like how far I can go with it. Because if I want to break my own rule, I'm going to fall on my own sword and then I deal with it myself. I'm not going to like put it on my Instagram so I can like pat my own back, you know?
Yeah.
But this is what I will tell you, the good and bad of dry January. First of all, some of the positives that I got from it.
Oh, wow. There's multiple. Okay.
There are some positives. First of all, I wasn't dying. I wasn't like, oh my God, I need a drink so bad and I can't have one. Because that's when I think people are like,
have a problem. That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, it doesn't, because I was like, I mean, we've all had moments in our life where we're like, I think I need to go to a meeting.
Well, I think you can like, well, sure. In my 20s, I woke up
in my 20s, I was like, I think someone needs to drive me to a meeting right now, although I don't know anyone at this party that I just woke up at. I don't know.
Up most Saturday mornings going, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop.
Yeah, I did too. I'm like, how many times have you woke up and you're like, I'm never going to drink again?
Yeah.
You know, and in your 20s, I think that's part of it. It's like this weird like second adolescence. You have to learn.
Yeah.
But then there are times, and I will be the first to admit,
I still think your 20s are adolescence, though.
I do too.
It's like
I do too. I give the 20s are so hard for so many different reasons, and like now looking back, I'm like, well, of course I boozed, man. My brain was like still growing, and I was a moron. I had so much to figure out. I was
trying to slow that rapid growth of my brain.
I was like, let me show you the damage I can do between 21 and 24. And then after that into like 30. But I do, in my now adult life, oh man, I got so drunk at our Amazon.
Oh God, this was 3 years ago, and she still brings this up.
I know, because I'm Catholic and I'm going to beat myself up. But we've all had those moments where you're like, I went too far. We had a screening of our Amazon special. I was nervous. Jen was nervous. We had been working our balls off for like weeks and weeks and weeks. No fun, all work, no play. And we finally had this screening at our house. We had all these fancy people at our house. I was nervous to talk to people. They were
Yeah.
so congratulatory. So like you feel like you're at your wedding. And I just remember sitting next to Jen and I was like, there are 50 drinks on the table. I should see if I can drink all of them right now.
And then do shots of the most
Well,
disgusting.
that is because my Irish friend Jenny Schmidt was like, I gotta go. You want to do a shot? And I was like, well, that seems like the most perfect idea right now where I'm 17 drinks in.
Yeah.
So then I did a shot. And the next thing I know, I crawled into my own bathtub and I barfed a bunch. I barfed a bunch and I barfed the next day too. And I prayed to Jesus that he'd kill me in my shoes.
Yeah.
And then let me tell you what I felt like 5 days later. Still like ass because I'm old and I had no business drinking that much alcohol.
Nobody does.
But I did have a moment where I was like, okay, Kristin, I think there's something that happens, and we can all be honest with ourselves when you drink. Like, are you in a bad place and you want to feel different? Because that's when it's a little scary. You're like, I'm going into this and I need to feel a different way. That is something that's an intentional sense of like, I think that's where it gets a little dangerous, you know? And I'm definitely that person. Sometimes I can be in a really dark place and I'm like, I'll drink and then I'll feel a little bit of a buzz. And I'm like, now I just want to keep drinking because I don't want to feel what I was feeling before.
Wow.
And I think with Dry January, that made me feel, I go, okay, that's something I've figured out about myself. It rarely happens, but when it does happen, I don't feel good about anything that I drank or did, or I won't ever have a good time truly because I started out in a bad place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I do remember like the first, like when my husband and I were dating, like at his birthday party, is one of the drunkest I've ever been, and it was because I was like shy and embarrassed.
Yes,
and stuff.
so then you're like,
that was,
you're drinking for a reason, and that's different than I'm celebrating or it's a Monday and I've got my friend here. Like that never feels like it ends up as badly as it does if you're like, I need this for a reason.
Yeah. I don't want to be me, or I don't want to be these feelings or something.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's something you just have to be honest with yourself about. You know, and those aren't fun conversations.
But maybe, but what if you, because I don't think I do that, but what if like, because I've been drinking so long, I don't, but not like to excess.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, how do I don't have a conversation in my head.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Because if you are, that's a bigger tell. And that's what I took away from Dry January is when I just stepped back, I was like, I am going to say something that's probably going to be like, don't they all say this? I have a pretty good relationship. I have a healthy relationship with alcohol. That was my takeaway. I was like, I really enjoy when I get to sit down with Jen and have a drink. I don't feel any need to have one. It wasn't that hard to not have one.
Yeah.
The times that I missed it the most is when I was the happiest. And I was like after a show and we went to go have an appetizer and a glass of wine, that's become our thing where we
that's
decompress.
when I was really resenting her
I know.
for not.
And I was getting lemonade. When we were in Kansas City, was that our third show?
Denver.
No, Denver was our third show.
Yeah.
So our second show was in Kansas City, which we love going to Kansas City.
Yeah.
Jen had a bunch of really great friends come visit, and we were all going to meet in the lobby of the hotel.
Fun hotel, by the way.
Fun hotel. All of them gave me crap about Dry January. They were like, we could tell because you can't fake drink on stage. Evidently, I should never pretend to drink anything because it does look like I'm drinking from a sippy cup. Like I don't know how to bring it up to my lips. I'm like, well, can everyone see me take a drink? And then all the water hits my nose, and then I bring it back down, and it's dripping into the glass.
Yeah.
So we go into the lobby of the hotel, and this awesome gal named Julie, who did our People magazine, came to the show.
So fun.
So, they'd had a couple drinks. She was so fun and so funny. And we met in the lobby to sit down. And I go, it was really hard. I was like, man, I want to have a drink right now because everybody's celebrating and having fun. But I'm on Dry January. So they gave me so much shit. It was so funny.
Yeah.
Again, my takeaway was these are the things that are going to be presented to you when you can and want to have a drink. So what makes it hard?
Yeah.
And I think it's what I discovered is it's in celebration that I missed it most. It was in happy, fun moments with you and getting to do the tour and being out and knowing I got a safe way home. I don't have anything to do the next day. It's like, that was my takeaway. I don't feel like I'm not patting my back or like.
It was just a thing.
It was just a thing I did. And I will say that I really got good sleep, which really, for me, I struggle with insomnia. And I really did. I got restful sleep for the first time in a long time. And I think one drink for me, even without all the good stuff, like a buzz, I end up not having good sleep. So
what if it's blood sugar?
I think it's blood sugar. I think there's a lot to it, but I feel like I'm talking a mile a minute. Am I talking like
you're talking a lot, but you're excited and I like it.
I'm gonna slow down. I was gonna say what I thought the negatives were.
Oh, well, let me say, I wanted to interject that we get messages all the time, and I think people are surprised that they think we're kind of booze hounds, but like
we're not. That's the funny part.
And maybe in I think body hair, we have like 3 videos where you and I would say that we were both a little buzzed. Yeah.
Body hair was definitely the night started out with me getting a speeding ticket, sober as a bone, and got to Jen's house and I was like, I don't want to shoot a video. I got a speeding ticket.
But you remember what about that video too is that the air conditioning in our house was broken.
It was 110 degrees in our house.
It was so hot in my house.
And Jeff, your brother, sent us really, you got Wine of the Month Club.
Yeah, he sent us really fancy wine. And so I think we just were thirsty and drank it fast.
Yeah, we had a good time. We were having a good time. And Jen was like, you know what? Let's just order some appetizers. Let's just sit back and relax. We don't need to do a video. And it was exactly what I needed. And the wine was really good, but it was very expensive. And it stayed in our teeth.
Yeah, that's how you can tell it's good too. Yeah.
And then we were like, you know what we should do right now? A video.
Absolutely.
And then we shot body hair. So
it was really funny.
I've never seen Jen's husband laugh harder.
I don't know if I'm oblivious, but I didn't know that other women drank wine kind of as because you know how there's all
these. You mean in the beginning when we started
doing these because I guess the wine trope thing, moms.
We hadn't been there yet.
Mommy likes wine or whatever.
We had new babies. We were new to it,
and so I didn't know anything about that. And we literally would shoot the videos. We would get a babysitter on a Sunday afternoon.
Yep.
And then
husbands would come.
The husbands would come.
Drive us home.
Yeah. We would have the babysitter watch all of the kids, and that was like our night out.
Yeah, it was like date night.
Yeah, it
was
for
3 years.
Yeah, so we would start off with coffee and then like a mimosa or whatever, or a glass of wine, and then people were like, "I like to drink wine too," and we're like, "Okay."
Yeah,
I started watching that new Kristen Bell, the girl in the house
in the street with the long and the title and the snooze.
It's tongue in cheek. I'm waiting for it to. I just have started the first episode. She pours like an entire bottle of wine into a chair.
Trying so hard not to show my.
Nope, you're showing it. People can hear your face doing that. We didn't. I don't like it. Let's edit this out. Okay.
No, I don't care.
So
I don't like it.
She pours like a whole bottle of wine into a glass. Yeah. And it's like a funny moment, but I really did think it was sad. And then at the end of the first episode, you get to why she is like super sad.
Yes.
Did you see it?
Yes. I've watched like 4 episodes. I'm still not into it, but it's fine. I'm going to give it a go.
I mean, that if we start posting videos
of us drinking an entire bottle out of it, you'll know, man.
During the day and crying.
But again, it's also something that you and I recognize. We are #IMOMSOHARD. We are talking about having happy hours together because that is our friendship and when we get to hang.
It is happy hour.
But by the way,
not
we do more sober than ever having cocktails. I'm just saying for all the people listening that want to get judgy about it.
I think that was probably what was hard about not hard or why I was like, come on, because we work together so much and we don't
we never get to have a break.
Yeah. So, we do. We have barbecues and stuff like that and we have, have Christmas or whatever, but we don't get to have happy hour anymore, like on a Friday at the end of a long week, but at the end of a show,
we do. Yeah. And some of the fun things that have come of that have been like getting into each other's hotel rooms and listening to music, or like hanging with friends and just catching up. And it's just so joyful that like I get why, like, listen, man, they have booze at the Last Supper. Like, there's a reason. Everybody wants like a glass of wine with dinner. It's nice.
Well,
if
it's going to be my Last Supper, there's going to be cheese. Probably more than just wine.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of cheese, probably something in the turkey, like Thanksgiving space for you.
Yeah. They're going to be like, I didn't know anybody could die off that much soft serve ice cream.
Yeah.
And she just like went under the machine. And
went under the machine of that and the margarita machine. Yeah. And she was lights out in 20 seconds. And it was delightful. That sounds delicious.
She looks so peaceful too.
Sometimes you want to have a beer after a long day. Or with Colin, that's our, like, we pretend pub.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
We role play a pub.
Oh, God, don't tell me about this. I don't want to hear about this.
No, this is how it rolls out.
He wears lederhosen and you wear one of those.
Well, yes, that was one. But then we have this one where I'm at the bar and I'm supposed to be meeting a girlfriend. No, not yet. No, because that's full. We're married.
Not that. That's too weird.
So we make it so that he's the bartender. And I'm like trying to get his attention. And then I'm like leaning over the bar and we start to flirt. Then he starts to tell me about gerrymandering, and it really dries everything up, and I go to bed and sleep
angry.
I sleep angry.
Well,
yep, I'm like, you ruined it.
Still working on it a little bit.
Well, I mean, we bang, but that's just natural. But no, we have pub nights with each other, and I love it.
Well, I had the thing that I could like compare this to is, I guess it would be like maybe 13 years ago now. So I used to smoke sometimes. I wasn't like a regular smoker, but I was like a bar hag a little bit,
Oh, I remember when you smoked. It was so great. One of my greatest memories is Jen coming over to my apartment. She rode a scooter, like one of those wheelie scooters, not like
not powered.
Not the power scooter, the one you have to move your foot.
Yeah.
Like a razor scooter.
Yeah.
And she was wearing
wedges.
No, you were wearing Mary Jane high heels.
Oh.
With like super tight jeans and black shirt with the shoulders down. And she had a cigarette in her mouth. She was like scooting, and I was like, I've never loved anybody more.
Every man's fantasy.
It literally was the greatest. If that is not the start of a great movie, I just don't know. I don't know if there's anybody more likable than that.
Thank you. Well, I wanted to quit because I knew it was bad. Like my dad, smoked 3 packs a day when it was like you could smoke in a maternity ward.
Yeah,
and
true.
He had he passed from pulmonary fibrosis and my other uncle had emphysema and all that. We all know it's bad, okay?
Yeah.
So, and I didn't do it that much, but it gave me anxiety, and I already have anxiety.
Yeah.
Like, so.
But you quit a long
time ago, but
a long time ago.
I did go to my doctor. I have this really great doctor. She's a woman. She's like a marathon runner. She's a mom, and she's like self-deprecating and sweet and wears really cool pants.
Wait, did you just describe yourself?
Oh my gosh. No,
Jen is pretending to be a doctor. That is not a shock.
I look in the mirror.
And I have a long conversation with myself.
No, she did not have the kind of 20s that I did. She's
like in med school.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But she said, because I like kind of described her, I'm like, I don't get it. Like, why do I kind of have this monkey on my back as far as like smoking thing goes? She goes, oh, this is very typical of women. She goes, it's just your habit. You're not addicted to it. It's like it's your habit, because I would have like 1 or 2 cigarettes out on my patio when I got home from work.
So you could go all day in this super high stress sales job, never smoke, and then got home, have 2.
And that was my like, take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Exhale. Like literally it makes you like do that and like calm down. And then she just put me on Wellbutrin for like 15 weeks or something like that.
And that helped you quit.
Totally. Because it was like an anti-compulsive thing. But it wasn't like that my body needed it. I even think like if I didn't have a regular work day, like if I went to a show or went and met people, then I probably didn't even smoke then.
Yeah. You weren't like my dad who was lighting one from the other.
Yeah.
Like one is going down and he's like, we didn't take trips on planes because my dad would nick fit so hard because he was. I remember my dad smoked Marlboro Reds.
Woo!
And
that's
he smoked Marlboro Reds, and when it was the Great American Smokeout, which is where everybody doesn't smoke for one day, he smoked more because he panicked that he would not be able to smoke at all.
They're going to take away my
They're
smoke.
going to take my, I put these little tiny stickers all over his room that said, don't smoke. Please, Daddy, don't smoke. I put them all over his room.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he got mad at me. He was so mad. And then I put snappers in the end of his cigarettes.
Oh my God. Trying to kill him?
Yeah, where you light one and then it blows up. That was a big thing in the 80s. You can do that.
Oh my God.
As well as cocaine. Yeah, put them in the end. You buy them from a
Yeah, you put cocaine on the end of cigarettes. And what do they call that?
You know what? That's called a good time.
Sherm is formaldehyde.
So I blew up my dad's cigarettes, and he lost his mind. Not because because of how dumb it was that I blew something up, but because I wasted like a cigarette, which costs money.
Yeah.
So my dad was a just crazy smoker, and we begged him and begged him and begged him, and then I just gave up. I was like, I can't change you. You have to do this on your own. He was at a restaurant in Florida. He was a mortgage broker. This was right about the time of the housing crisis when things couldn't have been harder for him or more devastating. He goes into a restaurant and he sees a guy pulling an oxygen tank, which I think he has seen a million times.
Yeah.
But for some reason on that day,
hit him at the right time.
He went to his doctor. He got on Chantix. That gave him some weird shit, like weird, freaky dreams and suicidal dreams that he had to it was real for him.
Yeah.
And he's not had a cigarette since. He quit. And he said the weirdest thing was the habit you're talking about was he would go to grab them out of his pocket.
Yeah.
And so he said people thought he had like a palsy because he would do this thing where he would go grab with, he had a way of, he goes, I always had my cigarettes and my lighter. Go outside, smoke a cigarette, go back. And it was this thing that like a mechanism that he got used to.
Well, for smoking, it's sort of like this weird comfort or like weird like predictability or something like that.
Yeah, I never had that.
My teacher, oh my God, my doctor. I tell you what she said?
You didn't say.
She said, it's kind of your friend.
It makes perfect sense.
A cigarette is your friend that calms you down.
Yeah.
And it was totally made sense. I lived by myself.
Yeah.
So it really was my recentering kind of.
So wait a minute. Are you my cigarette? Wait a minute.
That's why you're always trying to kiss
to
me.
Jen?
No,
I've only tried
habit.
to kiss you 3 times.
I'm your habit. That's what I'm telling you.
You're my habit. You're my habit.
Well, my dad's older.
Wait, so if I had to do dry January without Jen, I wouldn't do that. That would be too hard.
You gotta give up one of us. Yeah.
Yeah. There is something that feels like you get to dismount when you have a drink, and it's just because the day is over. There's no reason. There's no season. You're enjoying time with your husband, or you have your favorite show. There's something really like a fire with a glass of wine, or whatever you're into. There's something okay with me with that, and it feels really good.
Yeah.
So that was the thing that I missed. That was my takeaway, that I was like, I'm not ready to give up alcohol. That's not. But the thing I missed about it and the relationship I have with it is that there is something that happens that's positive, in that for me personally, just my take is I'm not so uptight. It does chill me the fuck out sometimes, and I like that. And that's the benefit of it for me, in particular wine.
Yeah.
And then I would say the other negative is you do kind of feel like you're missing out a little bit when everybody's having a good time around you. You're like,
yeah.
But it wasn't enough to I don't know what I'm trying to say. It wasn't enough to dissuade me from.
I always wonder that if people are sober, do they feel bad if people are around
not at all
drinking?
I was having a great time, but I was
no,
also,
but I mean sober people who
sober I
quit
think it's
drinking
much
because
different.
they have a problem
yeah, they're in AA. You're told to your first year is stay away from people that are partying a bunch, because it's just too tempting, and you're reminded that you don't get to do this thing that doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
So yeah, what is the expression? You can't stand the sober when you're drunk, and you can't stand the drunk when you're sober. For me, that was not the case. I had been around.
Are you saying that to me right
Jen,
now?
God, this is. Jen's like, do I have to do dry January? And I was like, absolutely not.
Maybe dry February. It's only 28 days, Kristen. I feel like.
I know. This was Jen. Technically, there's only 7 days in a week, and it is now January 28th. So by the math of 1 month off of alcohol, you can now have a drink. I was like, you're literally the devil.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm Eddie Haskell, you guys. I can't help it.
You were like, you should have talked to me first before you made this decision when we were on the road.
I mean, I just told
This
you
is
I used to drink
inconvenience.
booze out of a garbage can in college.
So did
those
I.
big, like, industrial Rubbermaid ones, you know?
You haven't lived unless you've drank jungle juice. You don't
No.
even know. You a tattoo you can't explain because you've had jungle juice.
Well, that's the other thing is I can't drink liquor.
Right. You drink a glass of Chardonnay when we're out. You're not like, I think we do this. We always qualify stuff as women.
Oh.
We're like, oh, well, I just had, I just like to drink this. Or I don't care. As long
No.
as you are an adult, you can drink whatever you
I
want.
was saying it more because I'm not saying I physically am incapable. I'm saying like if I over the course of a night have 2 glasses of wine, I am a really good Trivial Pursuit partner.
Yeah. Good at darts.
Yeah. I will still use eye moisturizer.
Yeah.
But if I were to have 2 liquor drinks in a night, I will take my shirt off and try and kiss you no matter
Yeah.
who you are.
Yeah.
I will.
I always try to get her to drink liquor, but
It's a different thing for me, and I don't know why.
see, and that's what
I
I'm
have
like.
2 tequillas. My
"Who
husband's like, is that our
I hate
anniversary?
tequila. I'll never touch it again. And
Well,
as
not after
long
that.
as I live, for the long, that was enough damage for me to be like, did I have to text people and say I'm sorry? There's literally people I don't want to see because of that night. All I know is that I looked at everybody and I was like, I'm going to bed now. And it was my house. I
Yeah.
went upstairs and got in the bathtub with my clothes on and laid down.
I do think it is when you are like rushing around to have a party at your house or
Yes,
have
nightmare.
people over. You're so busy that you usually don't eat, number one, beforehand.
At all. You're so
then-
right.
Then you have a drink and you haven't had anything to eat. And
you're
all
like,
of a sudden you're
"Woo."
like, wait, is this mine? You're like leaving
Yeah.
them all over because you're like doing all this work
You
around the
just
house. and you're
described
like,
how I got hammered at that party.
I know.
And I was like, I think I should just drink all the leftover drinks that are out, right? Like,
One of
we're all
them's gotta
friends.
be mine.
One of them's gotta be mine. Wait, does this one have an ashtray? Like, I just was an asshole. And that was like 4 years ago.
We have friends that do dry January.
I've never done it before. This was my first time.
Yeah.
This is probably the longest I've gone without a drink since definitely the only time was when I was pregnant. And because I wasn't trying.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I also just want to get fit, and I don't think it fits into that. That's the problem. Like, we can all bullshit ourselves, but drinking makes weight loss really hard, and I
That's
just
what I was
want
going to
to
ask. Do you feel like you lost any weight?
Not a fucking pound. In fact, I gained a few. Here's why.
Then
Because
what's
I'm
the
like this.
point,
Because
Kristen?
you're right. That's what I was going to say. My other negative side is I kind of wish I would have shed like 5 pounds because I'd probably never drink again. Quite honestly, because it's been so hard for me to lose weight. But I'm like, I'm up like 4 because I'm like, well, I didn't have a beer, so I can have cheesecake and
Yeah.
fried chicken and just right now, like literally I would normally just have a beer, but let me have a feast of 4,000 calories instead.
Yeah, let me have all these
need to
leftover
cope.
Rolos from Christmas.
Right. I need
Yeah.
to cope. So I'm going to take what I would have
Yeah.
been like
Here's my
120
treat for
calories.
myself.
Yeah, and I'm going to make it 800 to 1,000 to 4,000 calories. Let me eat a side of beef before I
That's
go to
what
bed.
I would be like, you know what? I am just going to eat this foot-long Philly
Yeah, why not?
before bed because I
Because
need
it
a
has
little
less calories
treat
than a
for
half a
the
glass of wine. let me just
There's
put
no
some
carbs in this, right? Is this no carbs? If you're doing the right thing, why doesn't the universe
I
support
don't
you?
know. And it should have been spontaneous weight loss, and it wasn't. And I was more sober than ever
bullshit.
because at least when I'm buzzed, I look in the mirror and I'm like, all right, I look pretty good. And that's why I put out.
I dated a guy that was a weightlifter
Ugh,
when I
no,
was in my 20s.
nightmare.
Yeah, no, brutal. Never do it again.
Never
do it again.
Nope.
And we would go have drinks with his weightlifter friends.
Boo.
And they would be like, what are you drinking? You know, they're like, what are you going to have when they go up to the bar? And I'd be like, I'll have a weight gainer and vodka, please. Because they were all in such shape. And I
Yeah.
was just very doughy.
Yeah.
Like,
I dated a guy that was a weightlifter too. And he was like, I met, gross. I was at Gold's Gym. I took a spin class and that's where we met, right?
Gold's Gym. Oh, God.
Gold's Gym in Venice. and I took a spin class. This is when I'm 25 years old, by the
This
way.
is where you get staph on your choo-choo.
Well, that's probably, who knows? We so I was taking not one, but 2 spin classes in a row at this time because I was
Holy
25
Moses.
and I had energy. And so
Okay.
this super hot Irish guy was in my class and I was like, well, you can't look like you don't know what you're doing. So you know me, I would work till they had to take me out on a stretcher. And then one time he's like, you're doing really great in class. And of course, positive reinforcement. And I was like, well, now I'm going to sleep with you.
Yeah,
That's all you have to
absolutely.
say. You just showed me attention and complimented me.
Yeah.
Let's get
But
it on.
I can't maintain this
I can't
workout.
maintain this workout. No. And that wasn't even that great. The spin class was better. But I will tell you this. He made me dinner and I was like, is that it? Like, it was like 2 sprigs of broccoli.
It's chicken the size of your fist.
Chicken. And broccoli. And he was like, tonight I thought we'd splurge and have rice. And I was like,
That's a splurge.
what? And then this is the best part, you guys. After dinner, he goes, I have dessert. And I was like, okay, we're going light
Here
on
we
the
go.
dinner. This is
Yep.
how this guy rolls, right? He's going to bring out dessert. He gave me 2 squares of dark chocolate. And I was like eating them like I was like being held captive, like hold on to it. You never know when you're going to get your next morsel of food. And I was like,
Now that's
man,
really
I really
sad.
wish I didn't have to put this notch in my belt because I am never coming back this way again. I do not care this much to be fit.
Well, there is some speculation that your appetite with food sort of like
Well, that makes
mirrors your,
perfect sense. And that's
sexual
why I'm
appetite.
married to my husband, because that guy, I will tell you, he's such a good time. And he is like, that was like, we'd go to El Pollo
God.
Loco, not El Pollo Loco. What was the
Oh, you and your
Mexican
husband?
restaurant you and I used to go to all the time? I used to date you and your husband there.
Oh, yeah.
El Cholo
Oh, yeah.
in Santa Monica. And
Yeah.
we'd get like
oh, God, it's so good.
margaritas and nachos.
So good. Yeah.
That's the best time. That's the best.
Well, that is probably how I hooked my husband is drinking margaritas. They have tequila in them, and that's when I'm like, whoa.
Yeah,
Let
you're
the
like,
inhibitions fly.
go
baby.
away. Because I do
And then he
think
married me, and he was like, you do a lot of crafting.
yeah, but that's
So-
okay. Let me give you tequila, and then you'll do a lot of crafting.
That's true.
Oh
Here,
my hooter!
I handcrafted you
I hand jobbed you. I mean, I hand. You guys, thanks for coming along on this.
We got to do.
No, I know.
gosh.
I was gonna go into that. I was trying to do an
Oh,
live
sorry.
radio
Oh,
program.
jeez, Louise, this got so official. I was like, no, we can't.
Boop, boop, biddity. No, we're going to go into our mom box, right?
Oh, yeah. Who's going to do the mom box?
Who wants to
Who's
talk
gonna
about
do
dry
that?
January anymore? Not me. I'm over it.
God, no, don't you?
I've actually gone
but
3 days into February.
You just forgot.
I forgot.
You were like in a habit. Yeah. So that's your new habit, though. But,
Forgetting, that habit's been in place. It's my parents' 50th anniversary or 49th wedding anniversary today.
my
And I
gosh.
thought it was yesterday.
Well,
And I called them and my mom's like, it's tomorrow. So that probably means there's not a card, right?
oh, wow.
She doesn't ever miss a date of cards. She sent you cards. My mom sends
does.
cards. She sent
Yeah.
a Casey card. My mom is very into cards. You know why she sends cards? Because she wants cards. I'm sucky at cards.
My mother-in-law sent this really beautiful handwritten card
Yep.
thanking me for Christmas and then just talked about her apologies, like how sorry, how late it was.
Which is an indication to you that you need to get your shit together and send her a handwritten
'Cause mine
thank you
is
card.
super duper 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 late.
She's like, I'm waiting for a handwritten thank you card from your wedding.
Well, oh gosh, it's true. No, I did do those.
I did those
I
too.
did do those, but I do
And
have
I was
to say,
pregnant, everybody.
Kristen and I are both in the same thing. Mom, shout it out if you're in the same. I don't know what it's with this time of year, but it is ding to dong. It's like
ding to dong.
I complained to my husband last night that I was like, I wake up and I start moving, and then because I fell asleep putting
I know.
our son to bed. Here's what my son and I do that irritates my husband. We lay in bed and we look at pictures of dogs that we want, and I will show you a picture of the
Oh no.
why you sound like my husband. He gets so upset about
You guys,
this,
she's
but
acting like she doesn't have any. She's got 3.
I have 3, but listen, Jupe's on the way out.
Oh my God.
And he
He is right out there.
Oh, if he could understand words, I would expect him to behave better than he does.
I feel like he's like a mob boss and he has like an accent. He's like, Hello, lady.
He totally is. I was saying that to my brother because Dash is really worried about him passing away because that's his, like, our dog Kaylee.
We've known him forever.
I know, he's known him his whole life.
Colin and I started dating when you got Jupiter. And Colin said he wasn't a dog person. And Jen was like,
next.
I don't think you can date my friend anymore.
I was really leery.
Very upset.
I'm like, what are you going to do? Pull out a coupon at a date or something? What's next? You wet fart? Okay. But then he does love dogs.
Yeah,
he just tries to
totally
be
does.
tough guy about it. But so we were laying in bed and we fell asleep looking at dogs. I want this little dog named Lucy. She's a miniature Brussels Griffin.
Oh my God.
She's
She's
so
really
cute.
cute. If
So
you think
cute.
for a second that dog's coming with us on tour, I will lose my
You won't
mind.
even know.
Cannot.
You won't
Yes,
even-
I will.
Well,
You
I
will
tell
have
you
her in
what,
the back.
if you keep doing sober months, then I'm going to
not
bring that
doing
dog so I have
anymore.
something to give you
I
love.
am your bitch.
She only
I am
hugs
your
me and
bitch in
shows
a
me
bed.
affection after she's had a glass of wine. So if this is what's going to happen, if you do January bullshit on me again.
Oh, I'm not, you guys. I'm off the train. It's fine. Everything. So let's go to a mom box,
Go to
shall
a
we?
mom box. Yep. This will be the mom box, and then we have a hot flash. These are all from the last live shows that we've done lately. Like, such a good time. Kristin did not enjoy a glass of wine with me after, but I think I mentioned that enough. But okay. I posted about how my husband sent a picture of my daughter when I was out of town with 3 huge pieces of candy in her hands and a orange Fanta mustache. And it was taken at like 8 o'clock at night. And I was like, what in God's name happens when I am gone? Because I have a too small, you can have like 2 little sweets a day and you can't have it at night. You can have them in the afternoon. Like you can have 2 like Halloween candies, or if we know that like birthday cake is coming, you get to choose. You can have your 2 little things or you can have your cake, but I want them to be able to like use discretion.
Yep.
So
40 pieces of candy at
40
9
pieces of
o'clock
candy
at night.
later. It was
know.
survival. I'm not mad at him. I just was like, they're just going to think I'm mean when I'm like,
Yep.
you
We
have
come
to
back
be
in
logical.
and we re-enter the environment carefully and steadily with a little bit of judgment.
Here's the no fun lady.
Yep. I just picked
Yeah.
up one hair of Eleanor's hair and the rest of her hair followed. And I was like,
Not brushed out. No.
not at all.
No, I know.
I go, Eleanor, when you're putting in ponytails, do you brush your hair? She goes, no, it just all goes. I'm like,
I literally say to both my kids separately, I go, if mommy dies,
oh God.
please promise me that you will brush your hair, brush your teeth, and shower at least every other day.
Clean your ears.
Okay.
I know.
And they're like, you are so morbid.
Yeah.
And have you gained 10 pounds in your face? There's a lot of things wrong with me right now.
Okay.
But okay. So this, I posted about that, and this woman posted in the comments, Lisa G, my daughter went to school without socks on when I was on a work trip last week. It was 0 degrees with snow on the ground.
Oh God.
And then her husband, Eric G, commented, yep, it happened.
We've seen this uptick of husbands, and it's been really fun. And I think it's a natural like progression of what we're doing. And I think it's in response to the pandemic where everybody's in this. We're all in it together. We're all home, and men are seeing shit that they kind of like didn't see before.
Yeah.
And like it's old hat for us. Like, you know, we're looking at their feet before they go to school. We're thinking about the clothes they're wearing before they go out. I
Yeah.
see pictures and I'm like, Colin, please, Finn is wearing 4 different kinds of tie-dye. Just like put on a solid pair of shorts. Actually, I don't care. I was
Yeah.
like, that one, I don't care. But I do look at pictures and I'm like,
They look homeless.
yeah, they look homeless. It's
I know.
fine.
Or they look, what do they call that? Housing displaced? What do
Yeah, I'm
they-
like,
I don't
hey,
know.
can you
What do they
put
call it?
unhoused? I think he looks unkept, is what I would say. Unwashed. I
Unmatching?
think that's an insult to people that are
Colorblind? Is that
unhoused. My
weird? I
son
know.
my son has the ability to do those things and he
Yeah.
doesn't.
That was not a strike at anybody who is
No,
currently unhoused
that is a strike
right
at my
now.
son. He has his hair is so naturally curly and it's so coarse that like he'll wake up and it's literally like someone like stepped on it. And then it's just like these splashes of like mess. I'm like, Finn, buddy, you're in 5th grade. Like, let's do something with your hair, okay?
It's so
Nobody cares
hard.
when we're on the
No.
road. We
No.
lower our bar.
Yeah.
We come back in.
Well, I like that Eric owned it.
I do too, Eric.
Obviously, he knows it wasn't the best scenario.
You know that every woman on there is like, Eric, thank you so much for your honesty.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So
Eric?
here's another. Kristen's going to read this one.
Oh, God.
Okay, so it's this one right here. This was.
Guys have to understand.
What show was this?
This would have been.
Was it St. Louis?
In St. Louis, I believe.
Okay.
Now, let's just tell you what this looks like. These are houses of like 12 to 1,300 people,
And
ladies.
This is our hot flash because this guy deserves it.
This guy deserves it.
Hot flash, hot flash. Hot flash.
Okay, so there's like 1,400 people in the audience. We can safely say 94% are women.
For sure.
And that includes the staff.
Everyone working there. Yeah,
works there,
absolutely.
that are men. So the men are very
Outnumbered.
And if you're single, you're an idiot if you're not showing up to that show because you're going to just get your ass grabbed at least. So Lauren posted this, and we are so happy she did because we did not see him.
Yeah, if anybody has a picture of this, we'd love
If
for you to
anybody
send
knows
it.
this man and can get to him,
And get
you
him-
tell
yeah, we
him
wanna talk
we
to
want
him.
to talk to him.
Yeah.
Because we're on a mission. Okay, it says, great show tonight. I was sitting in the 6th row next to a man who came alone, and he had a picture of his wife taped to an empty seat. His shirt said, my wife cheated on me, and all I got were these tickets. He said it was her Mother's Day present from last year. I mean,
guys, he needs our loving
he needs a lover.
I love that he came anyway, though.
I can't put my head around this guy. I'm like,
I can't either.
We
got to talk to
sir,
him. We got to find out.
Whether there is a perfect woman for you out there.
Totally.
And together you guys might like run Amazon. I don't know. Like,
Much like Eric owning it like he did.
Owning it.
Is pretty awesome.
it is awesome. I mean, think about that guy having to go to that show.
Yeah.
For whatever reasons. Like the marriage ended, it didn't end well. That's sad.
Yeah.
But this guy showed up.
Yeah.
And that's kind of all I need to know.
I hope he took a selfie like with the empty
I
seat
hope he
next
got
to him.
laid. I literally hope some woman was like, I'm single too. And you know what? Let's just make each other feel good. And now
Yeah.
they're like in Barbados. I just want the best for
I
him.
know. If you know who this guy is,
Please reach out to us because we have all of the questions. And bravo to you, sir.
Yes, he is our hot flash.
He's our hot flash.
Many random lovemaking sessions to you, sir.
To you, sir. We
deserve
put it
them.
out there to all you single ladies that we don't even know his age, but let's just say roughly 40 to 60 if you're looking for love. maybe
He's
maybe
somewhere
this is your
between
guy.
18 and 100,
He's
we're pretty sure.
He's at our show. He's between 40 and 60.
Yeah. I mean, I'm being...
maybe 40 and 70. I wouldn't gear the other direction. He wouldn't need that sign. He wouldn't need that shirt, okay? So bravo to you, sir. We bid you farewell. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. That's our podcast.
Okay, bye.